Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel I for Java. I am Kesri. I am full stack Java software developer. This is continuing series of full stack application development using Spring Boot, Angular and MySQL. Part 2. In this part 2, we are working on backend development where we will develop one REST API and by sending HTTP requests from Postman, we will check the appropriate response. After that, we will persist the data in MySQL database and perform operations like save user, find all user, find username, delete user, test cases using Postman. So be with me and I'll explain each point during development of this API. So friends, let's start. Before starting, make sure you have these three applications ready to use in your machine. For development, I am using Eclipse. For storing data, I am using MySQL. And for sending HTTP requests, I am using Postman. If you don't know from where you will get this application, I given a link in the description section below. Go there and download. Let's start the development. Okay friends, first let's go to our MySQL workbench and create one database where we will store our table. Let me log in first. Okay, it is opening. Let me provide my password here. Let me create new database. For that you can use command create database and after that give the database name. I am using Angular DB1 here, semicolon, and press Ctrl Enter. Okay, you can see here success message, our database has created. And let me use it, use Angular DB1 and press Ctrl Enter. Okay friends, our database is ready. Now let's go to Eclipse, go to file, click on new, then other, search here Spring Starter project. If it is visible, it's mean you have a plugin of STS. If suppose it is not visible, then add STS plugin in your Eclipse and then try. You can also download your project from Spring Initializer and import it in your IDE. So let's click on that. So I'm going to name my project Angular Web, else everything I am leaving as it is. Here I am using Java 8 version. Let's click on next. Because we are creating REST API, for that we are adding here Spring Web dependency and we have to deal with the data. For that we are using here Spring Data JPA, which is persistence API dependency, and for our database I am going to use MySQL, so MySQL driver will be needed. Also add Spring Boot DevTools, so you no need to restart your server time to time. If you will make any changes on your code, it will automatically detect and rerun the server. Click on that, proceed to next. Here our project is getting downloaded. Wait for the time. So our project is downloaded. Let's go to application properties file, and here add your MySQL database related configuration here. So I'm adding here Spring data source dot URL JDBC colon MySQL colon / local host 3306, and previously I mentioned my database name which was we created in our MySQL workbench, Angular DB1. It should be matched, otherwise it will show error. I am also using use SSL equals to false. This line is telling that we are not dealing any production related database. Okay, we are hitting local database. For that I am using use SSL equals to false, so it will work as a local database. Okay, and Spring data source username, here I am providing my username which is root in my case. Spring data source password K312. Spring data source, here I have to provide the driver, class name com.mysql.cj.jdbc. Let's click on this and it is computing. No suggestions. Okay, here we have to write driver. This is the class. Press enter. Add spring dot jpa dot hibernate ddl auto. So when our database table will be created, we no need to create explicitly in going to database. Here it will done by the JPA API. Spring dot jpa dot properties hibernate dot dialect equals to org dot hibernate dialect MySQL. I am using version 5, so I am adding here dialect. Okay, let's add a debug label also. For that, logging label dot org hibernate SQL equals to debug. Spring dot jpa, and where it is, oh sorry, okay, make it true. So you will be able to see the query which is going to run in your console. This part has done, and now Let's go to our src folder. Here is our main class from where the application will be run. First, let's create packages what we are going to use in this application. For that, just press Ctrl N and search here package. Click on that, add here. First I am going to create entity package. Again press Ctrl N and again press enter. Here I will add controller and Ctrl N package, name it as repository. Ctrl N, enter. Service. So friends, our package is ready. Let's create entity class first. Search here class and name it as user. Let's create some field. Private int id, private string first name, private string last name, private int age, private string username, private string password. So these are the field where we will store the data temporarily. Okay, because we are dealing with the database and we are using JPA dependency, so we will write here entity notation. Because this is our entity class, press Ctrl Shift O for importing any package which annotation you downloaded or dependency. You can import it by pressing this key. Here is number of field, so I have to tell which is our primary key. For that I have to write here annotation call @id. Let's import it also. Press Ctrl Shift O, click OK, and it has done. We have to create constructor. For that, press in your keyboard Alt Shift S, and this dialog box will be open. From here, press on generate constructor from superclass. Generate. Again press Alt Shift S and press on generate constructor using fields. Generate. We need setter getter also. For that also you can press Alt Shift S, generate setter and getter. Here is one more shortcut. If you are using all the fields, for that you just press tab and then spacebar, again shift plus tab and then press enter, and you all done. Okay, so our entity class is ready. Let's go to the repository class and create one interface which will extend our CRUD repository. Let's press Ctrl N, go to the search box, enter here interface, click enter. I will name it user repository. Click on finish. Let's extend it from CRUD repository. It will take type, so in our case type is user and ID type is integer. Okay, so it all done. It need to be import. For that you can press Ctrl Shift O and just in our case this is select this and press finish. Okay, it done. Let's go to CRUD repository and check what are the method available in CRUD repository. Okay, for shortcut is press function key and F3. So here is save method and save all method, find by ID and existed by ID, find all by ID, delete by ID and delete all. So because in our case we are not going to deal with the IDs, we are going to deal with username, so we have to modify this method in our user repository. So here we will create some abstract method by using Java naming convention. Public in saving there is save method for save the user, but when I am trying to search or find a user by user ID, but in our case user ID is not present, so we will use username. For that we are going to create here one abstract method. So return type will be user. Here find by ID, in the place of ID we have to write username. So this is are the changes what we have to make here. It will take input username. Okay, it's done. Let's create one more method for the delete operation. Public user delete by ID. This is original, but we are in our case we have to mention here username, so it will understand. String username, input type we have to pass. So if this what username we will pass here, if it is matched, so it will delete that user. Okay, save it. Okay, let's create service class. We will not talk to repository direct in our controller, so first we are going to create methods in the service class and then we will call from our controller class. We will create our controller class. Just wait. Press Ctrl N and search your class. Press enter. Name it as user service. Press enter. First method I am creating for saving the records, so it will return user save user. Here we have to pass user also. To save it, first we have to create instance of user repository. For that, user repository repo. Sorry. Let's import it. Press Ctrl Shift O. And here we have to write, this is our service class. For that, annotation is @service. So it will tell to Spring Boot this is our service class, and here we will return repo dot same method we have to call and pass here user colon and save it. Let's create method for finding user. Public, it will return user, find user. Okay, it will take username, for that string username. Return here repo dot you remember we create here our own method find by username, so we have to call that method in our service class. Find, you can press Ctrl and spacebar, so it will give us suggestions to you. Okay, and save it. So it is find user, and let's create find all user also. Public, and when we are retrieving the all records from the database, for that we have to store that data in iterable. So I am taking here iterable return type, and here I am mentioning type of the data, it is user, and method name I am taking get all user. I have to pass here nothing, okay, because we are retrieving, not sending anything. So just here write return repo dot find all. For delete, we are creating one more method, public, and when we are creating delete method, we have to notice this thing. We are going to take result from it. Again, we will show the rest of the data what are not deleted. Okay, so we want that data in our console or web from we are sending the request. In that case, we have to use here iterable. Type is user, yeah, delete user. It will take username because in that basis we are going to delete our user, and it will first what it will do, it will delete your user. So this method we also created, which is here showing here in our user repository. Press enter, and now what we will return, the rest of the data. For that we have to call this method again, repo dot find all. Okay, now save it. So our service class is also ready. Let's go to our controller class. We will create controller class. Press Ctrl and click on the class and name it as home controller. Welcome to our home controller. Here we will write annotation called REST controller. Actually we are not using here controller because that is meant for SOAP based web service and RESTful web service for both. But here we are using specific for REST call. That's why we are using here @REST controller. Let's import it by pressing Ctrl Shift O. Now we have to import our service class here. For that, I am creating instance of user service class. Let me create. Okay. Let me fetch instance of user service class here. User service make it private. We have to auto-wide it. So we no need to worry about creating instance of user service class. Spring Boot will automatically create instance of user service class. Let's import the package. For that I am pressing Ctrl Shift O. Let's create method. Public string get register. It will take request body. So data will come from the request body. For that I am here adding request body annotation user. We have to catch that user. Now we have to return something. So here I am returning one message with the username. Hello, welcome to I for Java. Your username is concatenate with the user dot get username. Okay. We have to import this package of request body. So I am using shortcut. So when this method should be called, we have to mention here. So when post request will come with /save, this method should be called. I have to write it inside. This is done. Let's import it. Because we are going to deal with database, here we are saving records in database. For that we have to write one more annotation called transactional. Import it also. It's all done. So let's create one more method to retrieve all the records from database. Public iterable, it will user type, and get all user, or we can write find all user. Use this, copy, find user, get all user. This is method what we created in the user service class. We are calling that method, and that method will call find all user. We have to return it. Return. Fine. When this method should be called, For I am using here get mapping, and okay, all user. If someone hit this URL, because we are taking records from the database, so we no need to mention @transactional here. It will work fine. Let's create one more method for retrieving data by username. Suppose if someone enter username, so the record what are available in our database should be come out. Okay, public, and it will return user get by username. So here I have to pass username and return service dot what method we define there, get find user, no, yeah, this is find user. And one thing we have to write here, how the name will be come here. For that we are using here path variable annotation, and here it will come from URL, so get mapping by username slash here username. So this interpolation will fetch name here. Let's import it package. Okay, it's also done, but because we are here sending name to the database, so we have to mention here transactional. Let's create one last method which is for deleting record. Okay, public, and in the response we want rest of the record on the console or on the browser. For that we have to use iterable, type is user, delete user, and it will also take parameter, username parameter. For that I am using path variable, because we have to take a username from the URL, so it will fetch here. Let's mention the URL here, and this will be get request, because we are taking name from URL. And request should come from this path. Inside curly braces username. First we will delete the record. Service dot delete user, and then we have to return the rest of the record. For that I am calling this method again, service dot get all user. Now it is perfect. Here also need a transactional annotation. Let's save it. So from this side we have done it. Next phase, we will send request from the postman and see what are the response we are getting from our API. Okay, so first of all we have to run this application. For that I am clicking on project and go to run as Spring Boot app. So it's preparing for run. Our server is going to start. Here you can see. Let's maximize it. Okay, server is getting started. Yes, it is working fine. It means no error is there. Let's minimize it. You can press shortcut key for minimize or maximize, Ctrl plus M. Let's jump to our postman and from there we will send request. First, we will call this method by using this URL. Okay, so now we are in our postman application. From here we are sending requests to save our data. Save user. Is it? Let's check out once. No, it is save. Okay. Save body raw type JSON. Okay. Let's add this field. Name. Let's take Himanshu. And last name Srivas is 25. Username will be Himanshu 12. Password 454258. Okay. Let's hit this URL and check the response. It will work or not. Yes, status 200. It means request has successfully sent. Okay, so now here we are able to see the response. This is come from our controller from here. Okay, so our first method is working well. Let's enter some more record like Mahesh, Kumar, age let's take 29, username Mahesh 21 and password 8523. Let's click on send. So here you can see username is given as a response. Okay, now check second method is working or not. Let's hit this URL from our postman all user. Change the method type get and now we have to send. So status code is 500, internal server error. What is the error? Could not extract result set, nested exception. So it means it is not working. Let's check what is the problem. Get mapping, find get all user. Let's check our console. Okay, the table doesn't exist. Angular db.user doesn't exist. Understand. Press Ctrl M so it will minimize, and here we have to write DDL auto, so Hibernate will create the table. We no need to worry about it. Right, for that spring.jpa.hibernate. Oh sorry, here is spelling mistake. jpa.hibernate DDL auto. Okay, we found it, and make it as update. So whenever we will send any data, it will automatically save in your database. Let's run it again. Just press Ctrl save and it will run. Now we have to store some data in our database. For that, I am pausing this video, and what record I have sent it earlier, I am sending back. Okay, and I already saved the records, so let's run. Next URL, let's see, first confirm all user. Okay, so let's hit this URL, all user. Let's see we are able to get a response or not. Now we are getting 4 not fine, not allowed request method post. Yes, I am doing again the same mistake. Let's send this and send it. Okay, understand. Here we not call same method of user class. Service dot save user. Now press OK. Save it. Now change this method to get, and here currently I save only this data, so only this will be come as response, all user. So here you can able to see the response which is coming from our database. Let's check out once our database. Okay, let's run this. Here record are stored. Okay, let's go our Postman and call our next method. Here we will add this path and send the name which we store in database. So by username, here we will write Mahesh 12 and send. Okay, we are able to see the record. Because we have only one record, so maybe you can confuse, so let's add one more record and then we will run this. Save, post, here write Sachin. I write Sachin Tendulkar, and as I am giving suppose 55 and username Sachin G, and let's take 8563 as password and save this record. What error we are getting here? Okay, primary key, I understand. Guys, maybe you can also face this problem because ID should be unique, and here we not write annotation to generate ID by Hibernate. So I am writing one annotation called generated value, so it will generate primary key. So friends, let's check this user is stored or not. All user and send. Okay, so we got the response here. And suppose if you want to delete any user, for that URL is delete and username we have to pass. Suppose I want to delete Sachin G, for that Sachin G, and click on send. Got a response or not? Here only Mahesh is coming here. Okay, so it means Sachin is deleted. Sorry friends, here is one mistake. Return type should be iterable because we are getting response in data. So by deleting one record, it have to give response as a all record. For that we have to add iterable return type. Okay, now it is perfect. If you run this application now, it will work perfectly. Okay, let's go to home controller. So friends, this was part 2, and here we see how to create API, and also we check is our saving or retrieving all records or performing some operations on our API, it is working well. So in the next step we will develop front end using Angular and integrate with our API. Okay, so wait for my next video. Thank you.